Seeing it as mystery, unknown, curiosity, but also mostly confusion. So it seems like this is a situation where, like, initially I was seeing this as miscommunication, but it's like a situation where there's so much unknown, or there's so much uncertainty, or there's so much miscommunication that it's really like no one knows what the hell to do. Um, I feel like for this collective, it's kind of this vibe of like, you don't know how to view this person, or you maybe feel ungrounded here. So it's like, whatever comes next in this situation with this person, it's going to be hard to see it for what it is, because however you're viewing them, or however you're viewing the situation, is maybe coming from this place of like lack of clarity. And so it's maybe warping your perception of this person in general a little bit. And so it's, if you're viewing whatever their next communication is from that warped perspective, and you're not seeing through the distortion, it's gonna make it hard to know what's going on. I also kind of feel like this might be a situation where you're not asking for clarity. And then we have the mouse here. And it could be something where you're sitting with the confusion, or you'd rather sit with the confusion or the lack of certainty than like come off as overly critical. It's like you're maybe trying to go with the flow here, but you're allowed to ask questions, or, gain perspective here with whomever this is, but you're not allowing yourself to do that. And so there's so much confusion. This is like past, present, and future. And so I want to say this is maybe something that has, sorry, my dog's making like weird mouth noises on the floor. I want to say this is something that's happened in the past, which is kind of feeling like this is probably a situation where this confusion has led to you remaining silent about specific things that you needed clarity on. But there's this mouse energy, this small, like, let's just not make a scene, let's not make a big thing out of this, like that kind of vibe. So I want to know where you're at. I also, first I kind of want to pull cards for this person that you're involved with. Then I want to pull cards for you, so we can kind of see like what the difference is here and how big of a difference this is. And I also want to do their cards before yours, because I don't want yours and your view and your perspective to morph like, or distort how it comes in, how my view of this person comes in. I see like what the biggest like subject that's being miscommunicated right now has to do, because whatever this is big enough to be affecting like you guys in this situation, and like how you show up. We have love spell, you've been bewitched. And then we have distance, you and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. And then gold digger, they want your money being used. I kind of feel like this is a situation where you don't want to come off a certain way. But whatever this is, also this love spell is reminding me of the, I think it's the I Need a Hero in like Shrek 2 or 3, where the fairy godmother sings it. Which is random. I kind of feel like this is a situation where you're trying to like not be perceived in a certain way, or it could be that like you remember past relationships or past time where you were perceived in a certain way. And I feel like because of this, and because of some kind of distance, it's really hard to understand where everybody's at here. I also feel like this distance, it's like trying not to be perceived in a certain way, instead of just like showing up, I guess, for whatever this is, or providing clarity or gaining clarity on whatever this is causing emotional distance. And so you may feel like with this person, you are, you maybe are feeling that, you could feel that distance. I want to say also there's something about like when you're feeling the distance with this person, it could be your instinct to kind of like want to come forward or ask what's up, and not in like an anxious attachment way, in a way that where like you guys already have enough of a bond or you're connected enough for you to, for it to not be weird for you to be like, what is going on? Like, what is up? But because you're not doing that for this, it's kind of making you come off nonchalant in a way. And because of that, this person, they can't feel the love, right? Which is interesting because we have love spell here, which is kind of making me think it's a situation where this person felt it so intensely at one point that even they were confused. And now they're even more confused because they're like, was I feeling love? Do I really know this person? Like, what is this? What is going on? I also feel like Gold Digger, I just think you guys both have distance right now because you're not sure what the other person's intention is right now. Like, there's been enough distance here. Caution. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself. Somebody is suspicious of intentions. I kind of want to say you both are, and you're feeling this right now. Date night. One day. Someday, somewhere, another time. Depth, awareness, importance, value. Cloudy judgment, there's that distortion, illusions, unbalanced. So this kind of seems like a situation which you guys have hinted towards, or you feel like this person has hinted towards moving forward with something, or like saying that they'd be interested in something. And then with depth, I see it as like when this person proposed these things in the past, or it's just giving like, you know, intimate conversations, like when you're on a date with someone and talking about like what you're, you know, looking forward to doing, or like if you know, making plans for something, right, in the future. And so with depth, I'm seeing it as like you guys are understanding like the value that you bring to this relationship, how much you value like forward movement, like intentions. And then there's cloudy judgment here because with one day, it's like, yes, there supposedly was intention that was communicated here in this situation. However, it just seems like it was meaningful at the time that it was communicated, but now with cloudy judgment, it's like, would I be crazy for believing that? Or is this person not going to stand on that? Or like you're confused about their intentions now. Whenever this was, it was communicated very meaningfully, but there's confusion here with you. This person, I'm just going to say out the bat, this person probably pulled back because they are a little bit like they're feeling like they need to be a little bit cautious, or they're suspicious because with the unicorn, I think it says in this book, like, is this too good to be true? Like, what is this? And so whatever you guys like, when you hit it off, especially with date night, it kind of seems like this is a situation where maybe you guys had a couple of dates, or maybe you were planning a date night. And you guys were either hitting it off and everything was good, and there's sort of this energy where now there's all this confusion. This person maybe feels like they had to kind of like slow down or pull back or like slow their roll here so that they could figure out more about who you are. But I almost want to say this is something where enough distance or time happened in between this, or maybe this person didn't follow up here, that you're now left kind of in confusion, but you're not asking for clarity. You're remaining quiet there about that. Doesn't seem like a long-term connection, which would be a new collective. Beauty, charming, graceful, kind-hearted. I feel like that's your guys' first impression of each other. I feel like you both felt like this, right? Like you both felt like this was a very, like there was depth here, there was intention here, and with the unicorn, and then love spell, I feel like there was chemistry here that was kind of unbelievable, or like you guys felt like kindred spirits. It's like, wow, I'm agreeing to go on a date with this person, and I'm recognizing that like, holy crap, this could actually go really well. Like I really like this person. But But what's interesting is I almost want to say this seems like a situation where you guys both could have mirroring suspicion. Like, I feel like for you, because this person maybe didn't follow through, they didn't follow up, or they pulled back, you might be feeling like this was like love bombing, or this person just like switched up, which they might have, but I'm not really getting like love bombing energy. I just feel like this person... Bluff, mask, pretending, exaggeration. Yeah, I feel like you don't believe this person's charm. Obsession, infatuation, adoration, addiction. I feel like because you didn't lean into or believe this person's charm, this person then kind of... They recognized that... I want to say this triggered this person. Because you got suspicious about this person's energy, they recognized this and then they doubled down on this too. Obsession, bluffing, and beauty. Pain. Apprehension, afraid, cautions. 2 cards here about caution. Time, waiting, cycles, moment. Open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. Open heart, commitment, breaking point. When this person, I want to say when this person recognized that they wanted commitment or that their heart was opening here, this is when they were triggered, breaking point. This is when they were activated here. There was some kind of wound that came up. With pain, obsession, bluff, and then beauty. I feel like this person, they became suspicious about, with open heart, I want to say your receptiveness, your empathy, your vulnerability. And with the mouse card, I kind of want to say this is maybe a situation where their judgment became clouded because you do seem very easygoing. I don't think it's that you're just acting nonchalant. I just think that like if there's not an issue that's big enough for you to want to raise it to the situation, you're not going to. And so I think that's what happened. And I think this person just saw you kind of just like going with the flow here as like it's like you don't chase is how I see this. And so this person, they started looking into this. I feel like this is somebody who they felt like, oh, watch out. Or they have people in their life who are like, oh, well, if she's, if this person is like relaxed or they're not, if they don't come forward when you pull back, then that'll let you know that like this person, they have a roster or something like that. Or like they're, and this just seems like this person is not communicating, or they don't communicate, or they don't ask questions. I feel like this is something, I don't really like this energy. Conflicted, decisions, hot and cold, multiple choices. I feel like this person kind of became obsessed about and like in pain here, and they became apprehensive, they became cautious, they became afraid, they became overwhelmed. They got hot and cold because of the idea of, are you bluffing? Are you pretending? Are you masking? Are you exaggerating? Are you just charming? Are you a gold digger? And so they got weird. And then love spell, of course that is coming out. Because this person became infatuated with figuring this out. Meanwhile, I want to say you were just like, okay, I guess I'm not going to get a third date with this person. I kind of feel like this is a situation where you did have a really good connection with this person at first, escaping, avoiding, blocking, pushing away. I feel like this person became so conflicted, they turned away from this, and this person probably ghosted. I don't think this is a situation where you've talked to this person in a little while. I kind of feel like this is something where, they ghosted maybe a couple months ago. Valentine's Day, there's a lot of hearts here. A lot of like lovey stuff. I feel like this could be a thing like where the last time you saw this person or heard from this person was Valentine's Day, or you guys went on some kind of date for that. I feel like that this person maybe got weird after that. Divine feminine, yin, feminine energy. Boundaries, no, drawing the line enough. Okay, so we're gonna look into you and your energy, and then chasing. I think you stayed in divine feminine energy with this connection, and you said, no, I am not gonna chase this person because I understand what this maybe is. But I want to say this person, I don't think that they're in like healthy masculine energy and they want to come your way. I do think they probably want to come your way, but I do think that this person is somebody who, for some reason, like they can't conceptualize, or they're very conflicted about the idea of you just like going with the flow here. It's just something that makes them feel weird about themselves, and I think that this is something that like, I don't think this person's going to be ready for a commitment, but I'm going to pull cards. I think that you, with boundaries, drawing the line, no, like, enough is enough. I kind of feel like you're maybe not super open to this person coming through anymore. That I feel like your energy, it's something where they maybe thought you were pretty quiet about your intentions. Meanwhile, there's nothing that you were hiding. You just might be kind of quiet, like, as a person. I think this person really liked this, but I think they got really like I think they got kind of weird about this. So I think they liked you. I think they liked you a lot, but I think that this person warped their brain around because they were scared of like having the wrong judgment because of how much I think they liked you at first. So we're gonna look into this and like maybe how you're seeing it now, because we started with what's happening in the connection and this person, like how they viewed this, maybe when they made their exit here, or how they were viewing this when you guys talked last, or when they kind of, I feel like how they're viewing it now is probably different. So we'll look into that. And then I want to look into like how you actually are viewing this now, because I still feel like with you showing as divine feminine, I don't think it's just that they're seeing you as divine feminine. I think that you are in divine feminine energy. I don't think you fought this, and I don't think you see this person as your enemy, right? But this person, clearly, if they're activated by this is something where this person has a hard time. They like to have a lot of control over the future and over the unknown. I was saying something in part 1 about you acting nonchalant. It could be that if you guys reconnected between like a ghosting and then now, and there was like one more reconnection to like, this person popped in and you were like not super open about like what you thought or what you felt. I'll do part 3. You were not super open about how you felt about that. And you were just kind of like quiet, and just like I was saying, if something came off nonchalant, I feel like it was that this person, I feel like by then you felt cautious, but you responded to this person. What that is for at that point, it's almost like maybe you saw it as, okay, I'll give this person a second chance and see what they want. But I think you were very like, I don't think that you had like a full like conversation about this. I think you wanted to see what they were going to do here, but this person didn't come in with like energy of like wanting to celebration, gifts, abundance, courage, change. I don't think they came in with that kind of energy. And so because of that, I think that you didn't really give a lot of energy to whatever this next interaction was. And so this person, like when you would have had the opportunity maybe to talk about this or how you saw this, you just didn't, which is not, I guess a bad thing. But I do think that this person, healing, inner child healing, celebration, gifts, abundance, change, courage. I do think that this person, when they came back in or around the second time, I think that if you had brought this up to them, or that you were confused and that you were kind of like, would like the opportunity to maybe like say how you felt, or to understand this person, or like what their intentions were, or why they felt, like offering why they felt how they felt, or what was going on. I think that they would have been opened up, but I feel like that's where the divine feminine, that's like where you would potentially have to say your part first, because this person clearly is somebody who got shook up by things being calm and them feeling good about this. And that's not your fault whatsoever. But if they ghosted, then they came back and you decided to respond, that would have been your opportunity to say how you felt, and this person would have seen that and probably would have made them feel a little more comfortable to say how they felt and opened up. But they kind of took you not opening up and you just being like, okay, as nonchalance. No. I feel like for you, apology and forgiveness. This person, you have not left this person's mind. Which is like, this kind of tells you, I think this person's used to getting ghosted or being the one who, or them being the one to have people reaching out and like wanting to, like this person may be used to really like dominant feminine energy, especially with change and courage, and she's the one like packing her bags and walking on the railroad. And like, I think for you, you're like, well, I'm not into guys with mommy issues. Or you could have had people in the past. Also, you could be a mom, but you could have been with people in the past who they did expect you to kind of do it all, or be the one to like ask what's up. And like, I feel like maybe you're just like, this was a situation where you're like, no, I'm not operating like that with this person. And this person, this is like, for some reason showing up like it's so baffling to this person how you dealt with this. So I feel like this apology, alchemy, ancestors, and guides, I feel like this apology is like maybe you feeling like if this person came back in, they would need to apologize to you for, now they're confusing you, right? Alchemy, ancestors, and guides. Action, courage, Jupiter, beginnings. You could be into like, you could be pretty spiritual, but this love spell card is kind of worrying me. And what's interesting is I'm imagining someone like, so this is reminding me of like Coachella or like Burning Man or something. This is reminding me of somebody who is like setting the intention, and maybe you work with your guides, or maybe you have an altar or something like that. And you're really into that kind of thing, or that's kind of how you move in like spirituality, I guess. And it could have been wanting, like you're setting your intention, and I'm just seeing like somebody being at, their table doing something like that and saying like, okay, I'm wanting this type of person. And then this person comes around and it's all there at first. But if this is something where your ancestors and your guides put this person in your life after you were trying to manifest something like this, then there's something that you are not seeing in the situation about how you operated too. And with love spell and distance, an apology, I feel like this person, I don't think, you could be manifesting an apology from this person. Limitations, fears. Mercury, messages, travel, communication, message in a bottle. I feel like enough time has gone by since the last time that you talked to this person that it would almost be like a completely new beginning with this person. Also, I was saying something in part 1 about like you guys on your first couple of dates, like maybe setting intention for like, do you want to do this with me in the future, or this, or so it could have been that you guys had some kind of like travel planned, or like there was something here about like, this is reminding me of a collective that I had like a little over a year ago, and this could be something where this person's now coming back into your energy, or you're feeling their energy around you. But anyways, you guys could have planned something, or it could be something where you end up running into this person while you're on like vacation or something really serendipitous and weird. Avoidance, stalemate, lack, doubts. This could also be something where like when you're feeling higher self activation, stability, harmony, flow. I think you saw this as, I think with ancestors' guides, action beginnings, limitation, fear, travel, communicate. I'm seeing this as when this person came in initially, you probably saw it as like this person, like this is an answer to my prayers, or this is what I've been manifesting. And then this person came in with, and you probably were like excited or hopeful for this action, for this beginning, like this says. But then something triggered this person, or you guys both triggered each other here. This person being nonchalant, or maybe person's uncertainty, I think triggered you. Their uncertainty triggered them. Avoidance, lack, and doubts. And then I think that you went from manifesting to doubting the situation, past, lack, suffering. I also think this could have brought up a lot from your past. Reunion, soul ties, spring. That's what I was saying. Like there could have been like your last time you, like last date was like Valentine's Day, and then you guys saw each other, or you talked to each other again one more time, and you could have kind of thought like, okay, maybe this person's going to come in with this action because they came back. And celebration, gifts, like healing, apology. You maybe thought this person was going to take action, give you an apology, explain themselves, but I think that you stayed quiet for that and almost like you were waiting for that, and then that didn't happen because this person took this as like nonchalance. I think this, you have two cards here about lack and then avoidance. I feel like for you, you saw this person as like they're avoidant, they're in a place of lack, they're not in masculine energy. But I kind of feel like this maybe would have been something where had you asked what's up, it would have put you in a position of potentially like you just mind your business. You don't want to hear things that you don't want to hear. So you just didn't ask. But limitations, fears. I think this person, I think you both had a little bit of avoidant energy. You're showing up as divine, feminine, so I want to look into where this person's at now and what they want to do now, because I do think this person's in your energy. I still think that the way that you operated bamboozled this person, even though you may be like, okay, I do feel like you were kind of quiet in some regard, but I think that you, part of it is your boundary. Like you were operating based on how this person moved. And if you're manifesting a certain type of situation with someone and they were not really moving like that, then you have every right to not go above and beyond and give too much information. But I do feel like if it does seem like the level of intimacy that you guys had, it was something where it was deeper. And I think, I kind of want to say this person maybe felt like confused why they felt like you were holding back maybe. So I want to know where this person's at, what they're currently feeling, and then what their intentions are, because this person's in your energy. You're mine forever and ever. I'm yours forever and ever. What? This could have been something where this person is acting like they're under a love spell, because whoever you are, you're so detached from this. I feel like you detached real quick, and this like did a number on this person. This person, our paths will always reunite. Now is not the time. Time will tell. And this person's manifesting you back. I want to say you can feel this person's energy. I feel like this is a very spiritual collective. Even if you hadn't been involved with this person for a really long time, I almost want to say you weren't. I want to say this was just the initial like couple of months or couple of dates, and then things started getting weird, and then nothing. And then there was like nothing, but you guys are in each other's energy. This person thinks about you. I want to say you guys both are at a place where you're manifesting this type of connection, but I feel like for you, I want to say you remain relatively detached from everyone romantically. I'm yours forever and ever. You're mine forever and ever. Jesus. You guys could have literally talked about future plans. Like, this could have been like you talked about getting married. You guys talked about eloping. And that's when things got triggering for this person. Okay. Apparently that's still how they're feeling. You're mine forever and ever. They're still thinking about whatever these plans were that you guys made. What are they wanting to do here? What are their intentions? Commitment. Person wants to come back around. Instructions, give it time. Is this person in another commitment? Or are they getting married? Divorce. Nope. What the hell? This could have been a situation where you guys were wanting, like, you guys saw it with each other, but this person got weird and then you guys kind of broke up. This could also be that somebody had just gotten divorced. This person could have just recently been divorced. Give it time. And then there was that, like, we will reunite. This person probably is somebody who is very much like, if it's meant to be, it'll come back around kind of vibe. No. Never mind. It's not the right time. Yeah, I think this person, when they think about coming back in, immediately, like, they still see you as divine feminine. I still have this up here. I put everything else away. They still see you as this. Also, it's 444 when I said that. But when they think about reaching out to you, then no, it's not the right time. And then this give it time says everything in divine timing. Let things flow. And so when they go to do that, they stop themselves because they think about your past situation. I want to say this person could have been someone who they got divorced or you got divorced or something didn't end up well in a previous relationship. And that also, like, made it really hard for this person to see everything actually happening in the future the way that they were feeling it and the way that they were wanting it. Because I do think that this person they were wrapped up. Sexuality. Someone is still figuring themselves out. Someone else. Someone is in the middle trying to sabotage this. Somebody could have also been still connected to their ex in some way or still talking to their ex in some way. Earth sign. Somebody could have been an earth sign. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I think this person also could now be connected with someone else, or you could be talking to someone else who's an earth sign now. And if you guys still follow each other, or if you guys had similar friend groups, this person may be suspicious of you being involved sexually with someone who's an earth sign. Which is giving like a little bit of possessive energy on this person's part, especially with you're mine forever, I'm yours forever. I don't think you know that this person feels this way about you. Because of the way that they detached. Pets. Getting a new pet. Giving a current pet more love. You could have had a pet with someone. Or you could have recently just got a new pet. This person also could have had pets with their ex. And it could be something where you just like assume that this person kind of goes back, or they went back to their ex because of the ties that they have together in that way, especially if they have. Also, the instruction card came out. which to me, I'm seeing it as like you're following like a set of, you could have been kind of instructed by like your guides of like how to move, how to handle this situation or this connection. I don't know how this person's feeling about all of this currently. Pride. Service. This person could be an acts of service person. Judgment. Pride, serving and service and judgment is giving divorce, right? And we got the divorce card. This person could have had, they could have been connected with someone, but they hadn't fully been divorced yet. And so you then would be the someone else. You could be an earth sign. Pride. I feel like this person maybe did. Success. For some reason, like a restraining order is coming to my mind, or like a DVRO, which I hope that's not the case. This person could have had that, or you could have been divorced from someone who you had a restraining order on. I feel like whatever they were dealing with in the past, fear. This person could have known about a previous situation that you were in, like I was saying. I think this person's, they maybe fear that with service and judgment, I'm just like we'll get out of like the law territory here. I feel like this person fears whether them coming in would actually be successful because, like I was saying at the beginning of this part, there's something about this person feeling like too good to be true, or there was a previous commitment that you were in that didn't work out, or they were in that didn't work out, and so they have fear about, like, they compare the situations. The situations, I want to say, are extremely different. So they're just going based off of your guys' past, which is interesting because that first initial card, it's like there was distance and then gold digger and caution. And so this person might have formed some kind of judgment here out of their ego or out of what they heard about your situation with someone else. And so they fear, this created fear about their situation, guilt. And then doubt, loneliness, forgiveness. So it makes sense why you'd be potentially wanting some kind of apology or expecting some kind of apology, especially if you know about this. But again, this seems like the initial relationship that you guys had. It was like you guys were locked in for the most part, and then like it seems like this separation or the distance or like the confusion happened very quickly, and then things stayed pretty confusing for the most parts. Like now there's no lines. We don't know what's happening. This person's intention, it seems like they want to come through, they want to do something, but every single time that they go for it or they want to go for it, immediately all the stuff that they think about from the past stops them, and then they get, no, it's not the right time. There was someone else that one of you was connected to that this also makes them doubt whether it was your situation or their situation. The fact that situation didn't work out, we have Earth sign here, and there's pets here. There's some kind of ties that still remained that I think that made this person doubtful. But I'm yours forever, you're mine forever. This person, they maybe also think that you guys have a soul bond, and they're seeing you as divine feminine energy. And then we have boundaries. They hold you in very high regard. I don't think this person sees you as a gold digger. I think they maybe saw their ex as a gold digger. And I think that, or they saw your ex as a gold digger. Or if you're still involved with that, especially with service and judgment. If there was like financial ties that were kind of messy in the situation, they maybe feel like they see what other people can do or how they can affect a relationship. And so it may not just be that they had judgment on you, right? But this was something where other people were involved, and this did affect this person and how they viewed this, whether it was your situation or their situation. I want to see if there's advice for you to kind of like how to handle this, because I feel like you probably feel this person's energy. 23, the Lover. With love, all things are possible, for love replaces your confusing doubts and weakened fears with faith in yourself and others. 1, the shaman. January with 1, 2, and 3. Also 2, 3, and 1. Work on healing and empowering yourself if you want to be useful to others on their own journey from suffering to healing. This seems like this is like a divine counterpart journey. This doesn't seem like this is somebody that you've had some kind of big tumultuous, like twin flaming type of karmic relationship with. This is someone who I think you guys were actually really serious, or you were planning on getting really serious, and then what was going on in your guys' lives or your other commitments, that was something that got to this person. Plus, I think that you were very, like, you didn't fight this person on this. And so because of that, it's like maybe this person maybe needed you to double down, or they were doing this whole like, okay, well, if this person doesn't double down, then it's a sign that like, it's just not the right time. And they, they're not, I don't think that they expected you to chase, but I think that you see doubling down or asking for reassurance or like asking for clarity on the confusion that you've had as chasing, right? I was saying that in part 1. And so you did kind of deserve clarity in this situation, especially with how intensely you guys were wanting to commit to this. It was like the moment you guys started to give it some time, that everything got in the way here. Everything kind of collapsed. 22, 23, 2022 and 2023, also January, right? The peacemaker, it is time to make peace. You will get much further on your path through kind acts and words than you will by forcing things or vengeance. I kind of feel like this is a situation where if you're feeling this person energetically, you know that they have this like they're a little bit, their foot is not on the pedal here. I do think that the more that you detach kind of from whatever expected outcome you'd want here, the more that I want to say the more likely it is that this person is going to come through, because this does seem like something where you guys are connected in some way energetically. And I also don't think that this person has bad intention, and I also don't think that they are like manipulative or sneaky or weird. I just think that they were so uncertain and they're so scared of that uncertainty that they backed away. And I think that it's kind of similar to how you didn't like the uncertainty, so you shut down too, or you just were like, you know what, I'm going to detach. And so it's very similar in that way. And that's why I think with this peace card or this peacemaker card, love, and then the healing card, it's sort of saying that in your next interaction, there actually is, it's almost like it's supposed to be very healing for this connection. It's supposed to be one where you guys almost, I want to say, press play from where you were like on that date when things were supposed to be really good. And I think that you have boundaries up, but I also think you might be viewing the situation a little bit harshly with this person. I just think this person almost won't allow themselves to really come in with like actually how they're fully thinking about this and how they want this commitment, unless they see how open you are to it and that you're not closed off at all. Because if this person sees that you have a guard up, I don't think this person is going to be open enough to like to also share how they're feeling. And I think they want to. I think this person would be very open to doing that. But if you're expecting this person to lead with that after not talking to them for a few months or a year or whatever this is, I don't think that is the case. And I also don't think this is something where you're supposed to be like, where you're supposed to have the perspective as like, of like, okay, well, like this is not your enemy. This person's actually supposed to like, there's a reason they're being called towards you, right? You guys are supposed to be able to have some kind of like, yeah, with the wounded, be gentle with yourself and others because we've all been wounded in some way. A wound will always cry out to be healed. This person's not like a bad person or a manipulative person, or they weren't using you or like wanting to lead you on. This person was just as confused and scared in the situation as you were of this uncertainty. I do feel like this person is going to come in, but I feel like they're on the fence between like actually pressing go. I think they want to, and then they feel general uncertainty again, so they say no, but I think they're going to. And I almost want to say with mystery that came out and then communicate, that's how you're feeling. You're not sure if they're going to communicate. And then we have take the lead and we have courage. I was seeing that as like if they do come forward, I almost want to say the moment that you view the situation as one where like, yeah, no, I actually would be really open to discussing this with this person. I would be okay being the one to kind of like initiate how that kind of conversation would go. or kind of want to take it there, or I'd be open to it. If this person's the one that initiates communication, then I think that's when this person maybe like energetically, that's probably when this would be released, because that's where maybe spirit, I guess, is wanting this to go, or that's how they'd be wanting it potentially to go. And I feel like you would have to be okay enough with the mystery and detached enough here from whatever you'd see happening to be able to be open to communicate fully, or to have the courage to do that and to take the lead in that way, like these cards are saying. Because I do feel like that, like when you feel open to that, it's like it opens the pathway for this person to then feel energetically like they can come through. But there's a level of detachment of like that actually happening. Yeah, do nothing. Kind of feel like you know that you don't need to do anything here. You don't need to initiate this with this person. But I do think that everything here is sort of saying that, yeah, there's a lot of like, you're leaving it up to time too. I think that leave it up to timing, like release it to the universe. There's nothing you have to do to initiate this, especially with synchronicity, and literally do nothing. But I do think that unless you're still detached enough to be able to like open up about potentially how you'd be feeling about how this went, or like leading, not even like saying how you felt, just leading the conversation and asking for some clarity about what's going on, not in like an accusatory way of like, you're the one, you left, you did that, like just explaining that you have, some hesitancy because of the lack of clarity that you felt like you had here, and that you'd be open to this, and that you don't see this person as your enemy, and that you actually, like, if you actually are open to this, then I think that this would be something that would allow sort of, it's almost like you'd be giving the person the invitation in that way to also show up to this conversation. And so, yeah, releasing blocks, like I was saying, like energetically, when you're open to that. But we have embrace uncertainty in reverse. I don't fully think that you are, because of how this person like walked away or how they left. I'm going to do one more part here for advice. Peacemaker card, but it says, it is time to make peace. You will get much further on your path through kind acts or words than you will by forcing things or vengeance. This seems like a situation like where, what I was saying, like peace wants to be made. I think this person, it could have brought some stuff up in you that made you feel abandoned, or like you had to put a guard up with this person. And if they were to come in, you would be closed off to this person, I think. But this is like, this person, they're having just as hard of a time trying to wrap their brain around this situation and how significant this was to them than you are. Like, they're doing the same thing. And I don't think this person is somebody who had bad intentions, or like their ego was trying to like play games with you at all. This also doesn't seem like somebody who, when they'd be coming in, they'd be breadcrumbing. But I do think because they have that general uncertainty that matches yours, this is where, with Divine Feminine and boundaries, you can feel confident enough in your boundaries to know that you're not going to get taken advantage of in just communicating with this person when they come in. But I also think because of that confidence, because of that inner security, and because this, with Divine Feminine and then boundary, I'm saying that as like you have strength in your Divine Masculine inner energy as well, but stay in integrity and abundance. This is also, these cards remind me of pregnancy. She's also, you can't really see, but I think she's pregnant in the card. This seems like a situation where you guys actually could, like, this might be something where this person's wanting to elope. This person's wanting to, this person can't get you off their mind, but they're hesitant. They want to elope. This person wants to put a baby in you. I kind of want some confirmation of this, because the first two cards about how is this person feeling currently, being you're mine forever and ever and I am yours forever and ever, is wild. I know I was saying in one part, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think you've known this person for a super long time. I almost don't think that you needed to. I kind of feel like this is signed, sealed, delivered, but something happened here that had to do with what was going on in your guys' relationship, like outside of your guys' relationship with the people that you guys were still connected with. Go for it and then slow it down. But slow it down in reverse. I'm kind of seeing it as like, once this goes, this is going. Like, once this takes off, it's going. But I just think that, like, release blocks again. Love. I feel like this would be kind of hard for you to lean into. Honestly, it would test that level of like, are you detached from the outcome? Because this is some good stuff. I just think you don't know that you both are like, well, shit. Like, is that what you want? Yeah. Is that what you want? Like, yeah. I'm a hummingbird. I always see this as like my baby comeback card. In the book, it talks about like going back to your sources like daily for that nourishment, for what you feel like called to in your soul, for what makes your soul sing. Like I do feel like this person's going to be coming back around relatively soon, but I don't know if I want to pull time with the mouse here. This also is a card of your home. I see it as a card of home. Come back home. This person wants to come back home. I just think that this is kind of saying that if this person comes back around and you are quiet as a mouse, I think this person, again, it's going to put them back into that uncertainty, and it's going to be something where you don't get anything from this. I think this is going to test you in your strength of understanding how your boundaries and you're protected by your inner divine masculine. You are strong enough to put yourself into a situation and trust yourself in a situation to be able to let yourself flow in this and to open up. And to know that if you do that and you put yourself in that situation, that you're strong enough to be able to handle the emotions of whatever comes next. But if you don't feel confident in that, if you don't feel like your boundaries are strong enough to not have to assert it or to have a guard up with this person, then maybe don't respond to this person until you feel like this is not a threat. Because I do think that your guard is up right now to the idea of of communicating with this person. But the otter, that's like that childlike joy. It's my card of babies. The turtle. Like I was saying, you're protected from anything that you'd view as a predator. You literally have a shell. You're good. You can be soft. You can flow. You can talk about things that concerned you. Because this person, I don't think they're going to come at you and chomp you for doing that. I think if anything, that's what they need. But this hesitancy you'd feel to even talking, I don't think anything's going to come from that. Because this person would need you to be somebody who feels safe in your divine feminine and masculine energy to actually come forward. I feel like this person's felt lost without you. This person thinks about you constantly. I don't want to know if there's anything else about like how this person views you to make you feel safer in this, but the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. This person's coming in for you to be able to open, right? They're not coming in to be someone to do something that makes you feel like you're going to have to put a big guard up. I really don't think this is a threat. I don't think this is somebody to be scared of. Mintonkin, longing for home. That's what I was saying. Somebody wants to come back home. Belonging, the original light workers. You guys could have moved in very briefly, or this could be something where this person's wanting to move, or like I was saying, they want commitment. They want pets with you. This person wants babies. They want to move in. The initiation, the rite of passage, crossing the threshold. There's one that's stuck. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Double mission. Sometimes I see this card as twins. If you guys are wanting kids, I think some things are going to change in your life with this person. But I do think that it all kind of rides on your ability to be in that divine feminine energy that you've been working on when this person comes in, and align your life. What is not aligned in your life? What needs to change? I feel like a lot of stuff would change in your life in how this situation is supposed to move. Because this is giving like, here you go. Here's your soulmate. This is like the opposite of yesterday's reading. Change. life sometimes brings us changes. And even though that change feels scary, I don't have to let it ruin my life. I can make myself feel brave and say, okay, let's do this. I feel like this would be like a, okay, let's do this. Like, let's try and do this again. But I don't think you're willy-nilly. Like I was saying, I feel like you know yourself. This person sees you as their divine feminine. Honesty. I always remember to tell the truth because I always want other people to tell the truth to me. That's exactly what your advice was. If you open up, they will do the same. And if not, I don't think it's a not. I think they will. When we tell the truth, we know what is real and we know that we can trust each other. That's the thing. When it will help this person to trust you because they're just as uncertain as you are. Plus, telling the truth is more natural. Have you ever seen a butterfly lie? I feel like this person just wants to just live with you, be comfy with you. Look at worry less. They're just sleeping. Like this person, I feel like this person would feel so safe with you. This would be the type of relationship where you guys would be chilling on the couch and this person would just fall asleep in like 10 seconds because they're just so safe, because they feel so comfy. Because they see you and they trust you as someone who's honest and open with them. And so I feel like a lot in your life is going to change. There's the golden card. That's like Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Worry less. When I feel worried about something in the future, I take a deep breath and remind myself that I'm okay today. If I let my thoughts about tomorrow ruin my day, then I lose no matter what. Hey, that's no fun. I think this person struggles with like anxiety or fear of the unknown. I feel like you're actually the stronger one when it comes to that.